Hello and welcome to Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falvo. On today's show, we'll learn all about Rutgers University Newark Bold Women's Leadership Network. We'll also get a sneak peek behind South Orange Performing Arts Center's newest production, The Last Supper. But first, Isabella Galan has been crowned 2022's Miss New Jersey Teen USA. At only 17 years old, this Wayne resident has already accomplished more than most hope to in a lifetime. She joins us now. Isabella, congratulations on such an honor. You look beautiful.
Hi, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
What drew you to the Miss New Jersey Teen USA competition?
Well, I started competing for this title during my freshman year because I was looking for a challenge. I've competed in pageants in the past, but Teen USA and Miss USA, that is like the cream of the crop. And I knew that I wanted to be the best and compete against the best. So I started competing at the New Jersey and state level, and it took 3 tries to finally win the title, but I wouldn't change it any other way. I feel the most ready now at this stage in my life than I could during my freshman year. I don't even know how I would have done it back then. So being able to be in this space now and compete for Miss Teen USA in the coming months is super, super exciting, and I could not be more ready.
Well, walk us through how you prepared for such a big competition.
Yeah, it is a lot of preparation. You have to get your evening gown, your interview outfit, all of your rehearsal outfits need to be on point because everybody is watching you at all times. So you need to be performance ready. And there is the activewear portion of the competition where you're modeling on stage in like a sports bra and leggings. That's what the teens do. So we don't have to go on stage in a swimsuit, which is great for me. But you have to do all that training months before the pageant. So usually the 2 months before the pageant is when I get really, really like harder on myself and really start to push eating healthier every day and less cheat days in there just to really, really get on top of my game. But it is a really long process. I started probably about a full year before, like training for a year ahead of time before I was actually hitting the stage. So it requires a lot, not only physically, but mentally. And that was a space that I've had to work at in order to get where I am now. And especially now that I have my podcast called the Be Well Podcast, where I talk about mindfulness, wellness, and anything mental health related. I feel like being able to fully understand where my headspace is at and how I perform to the best of my ability was something that took time, but I'm so grateful to have been able to learn and put into practice as I continued to compete, leading up to right before the moment I was crowned.
We're going to touch on your podcast because I'm so excited to hear all about it. And I love the concept, but I want to just finish up on the training portion of our conversation. So you say you spend a year preparing. Do you have a team around you to help?
Yeah, for the state level, I did have a coach. Her name is Gina, and she is the best coach out there. She was actually Miss New Jersey Teen USA in 2016 and Miss New Jersey USA in 2020 and placed top 10 at Miss USA. So I felt extremely grateful to be in her hands, and she helped me with wardrobe and interview preparation, all things like that. But now that I am competing on the national level, I do have a team to help support me now, my amazing directors, a wardrobe stylist, a personal trainer. So it's just tightened up a little bit now that I'm going to nationals, but it definitely having that team around you helps really, really make you feel confident in yourself. And they really just want the best for you and want you to put your best foot forward. And I'm so grateful to have them on my team.
What gave you the inspiration to go into pageantry?
Yeah, I've always been a super girly girl. Even when I was 3 years old going into preschool, I was wearing dresses to school every day. I used to be a competitive dancer, so being on stage was second nature to me. So when I found out about pageants and my mom told me that she wanted me to put me in one, I was like, go ahead. I will get my makeup and my hair done every day to be able to be on stage and look like that. So it really just stemmed from me very, very young to be so confident on stage. And since I did have a love of performing, it was very, very second nature to me. And being able to just be my most authentic self on stage and in the interview room was something that really drew me to pageantry. And because of that interview process and being able to carry yourself in a way that you feel the most confident presenting yourself to others as has truly reflected in my character and has shaped me into a stronger individual that has taken me into my job, into the classroom, and into my podcast too.
You certainly have a full plate. Let's talk about your studies at Immaculate Heart Academy. You're entering your senior year.
Yes, I am. That's crazy to think about, especially since I started competing for this as a freshman. To be like having it in during my senior year is like a full circle moment, which is just crazy.
What has the support been among your peers?
Oh, they are the best. One of the best things after I won was I am a part of our TV broadcasting program at our school called Heart TV. And since I do want to be an aspiring news anchor, it has been my home, my second home at school. I love it so much. And I'm so grateful to be the president of Heart TV. And when I won, my friend who actually came to the show, she is a part of the team that writes the stories for each day's news segment. So she was there, and as she was on her way home after I was crowned, she wrote up a news story and sent it to the teacher and said, "This needs to be aired in school tomorrow." And they had a whole segment on me winning. I was also mentioned in our school's newspaper, and walking into school the next day after I was crowned was just a whirlwind. They were all there to just support me. And since it is an all girls school, I truly felt that bond of sisterhood that I also get in pageants. So it was really just so amazing to walk in and meet girls that I didn't even get to meet before from different grades, just coming up to congratulate me. It was really, really just such a sisterhood. And I love them all so much.
That makes me so happy to hear. What community initiatives are you involved in? I know that being involved in giving back is such a cornerstone for the Miss New Jersey Teen USA.
Absolutely. So the national organization, they have some programs where we can get involved with too, some as Smile Train and Best Buddies. But something that I have been working on since I was in the 6th grade has actually been this organization called Click for Babies, where I knit or crochet purple baby caps, and they are then distributed to hospitals around New Jersey to new moms. And they are used to spread awareness about shaken baby syndrome and the harmful effects that come from it. So that is something that I have been putting into practice not only throughout my journey in pageantry, but also in just my community service aspect of my life as well. In school, we are very service oriented as a Catholic school. So a part of our ability to graduate is completing service requirements. And I was able to do a Valor project for 2 years, my sophomore and junior year, where I used Click for Babies to gain those service hours. And it really is just something that I love to be able to spread awareness about. And as Miss New Jersey Teen USA, I am so excited to continue to spread awareness about shaken baby syndrome.
You have so much going on. So speaking of babies, I can't believe this when I learned this about you. You also have a part-time job at Little Gym in Wayne.
Yes, I do. I love it there. They are also another family that I am so grateful to be a part of. Going in and seeing all of the kids' smiling faces every single week when I go in to teach a class is just so I don't even know how to describe it. My heart gets so full. And even when I'm having a bad day, I know that I can go into work and those kids will put a smile on my faces. And I have to do the same for them because they look up to me not only as a role model, but as their coach. I'm there to help them grow. So being able to be on the flip side and have to put my best foot forward for them helps them in turn do the same for me, which I love them all dearly for.
I know you work at the one in Wayne. I'm starting my 16-month-old daughter at the Summit location soon, so I wish you would transfer over there. I would love that. But finally, you mentioned your podcast. It's called the Be Well Podcast, and I totally love the premise of it. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so I started my podcast January of 2022. So it's still fairly new. It's my little baby, but I upload episodes each and every single week on Fridays. And I talk about anything that I have gone through in my life or just experiences that I feel like I want to share regarding mental health. I've had my own struggle with mental health, and I know it is out there. It's something we can't ignore. And being able to have a platform that I have and to use my talents with editing and just public speaking in general, I knew that it was a platform for me to be able to reach more people than I just meet face to face, because you can listen to my podcast anywhere when you're in the car, cleaning in your room, on a walk, and being able to have that connection with other people, even if it's just through my voice, is something that I've always wanted to do. And I'm so, so glad that it has continued to grow and develop over time and how consistent I've been with it. And I know that it's only going to be able to grow tremendously even more as Be Well continues.
Well, where can people find out more about you, the podcast, and to follow along your journey as you head to nationals?
Yes, so I am on all social medias on Instagram. My personal Instagram is isabella.galan, but make sure to also follow at Miss NJ Teen USA. It is the same on TikTok as well. I love posting my little TikToks, they're so fun. But for Be Well on Instagram, it's at the Be Well Podcast. And if you look up Be Well Podcast with Isabella Galan on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Anchor FM, they are all there ready to listen to. So make sure if you go ahead, go follow it and click the notifications so you're notified every single week when there's a new episode.
Isabella, I'm so happy that we met at a red carpet event a few months ago. I really think the world of you, and congratulations on representing New Jersey in the best possible light.
Thank you so much for having me. This was absolutely amazing. And I look forward to the future of getting to chat with you more and to be able to represent New Jersey at the national level at Miss Teen USA.
And when I'm ready for a vacation here, I'll be sure to give you a call.
Thank you. I would love that. Absolutely.
The Bold Women's Leadership Network at Rutgers University, Newark is a program that cultivates courageous leadership in young women during college years and beyond. Joining us now to talk about how they help create opportunity is its director, Jennifer Bucalo. Jennifer, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be with you.
It's an absolute delight to be joined by you. We came together by chance at an event a few weeks ago at the Branch Brook Park Alliance Luncheon, and I was so blown away by everything that you do. So I'm excited to dive in.
Thank you so much.
Tell us more about what Bold Women's Leadership Network does for women.
So the Bold Women's Leadership Network is a pioneering program. It cultivates women leadership in their college years, in their undergrad years. The focus is really to provide internships and scholarships, not only during their undergrad years, but also post-graduation with fellowships. So ultimately, Bold is funded by the Helen Gurley Brown Foundation, and the vision is truly to empower young women to become leaders in their life, in their communities, in their careers.
What drew you to the Bold Network?
To be honest, it all started with our Executive Vice Chancellor, Dr. Sherry-Ann Butterfield, who said to me, "Can you do me a favor?" And I said, "Sure, anything for you." She is one of my mentors. And on that note, a favor turned into a director position. So it was really all because of a simple ask. And here I am, and I'm really loving the position.
Tell us about the programs you established.
Sure. So within Rutgers Newark, our chancellor, Dr. Nancy Cantor, has the In Newark of Newark. And with that in mind, we really want to create leaders within the city of Newark. And with that in mind, we have our students leading everything from the Urban Agricultural League to Glassroots to Branch Brook Park. We try to touch various different points within the city and support them, not only by volunteering, but also interning and making the community one with Rutgers as well.
Is there a success story that comes to mind with one of the young women that was part of Bold?
Wow. It's actually funny that you asked that because my July newsletter is a highlight of the students. So I'm going to highlight one of my students, Sharish. She actually is a senior as of September. So she's a rising senior. She just came back from Greece and had an experience, learning experience there. And she's now doing an intern. She's now in summer intern, I should say, at Princeton University. So she's had a full summer of events, both traveling, which I think is extremely important for every Bold scholar to experience. And now she's doing research at Princeton University.
We recently met at an event, and one of the students that impressed me that was with you was Dina.
Yeah, yes. She is our PhD student who supports me on multiple projects. So she's not a Bold scholar per se, but she is part of the Bold team for sure.
Well, I mean, she was just an example of the type of talent I think that you're attracting here.
For sure. We want to be really intentional with our high touch points and who we have student facing. So Dina is a great part of our team as well.
I know that you recently unveiled a mural that's part of Bold called Courage. Tell us all about it.
It is very close to the Prudential Center. In fact, it was envisioned by the students during COVID. We met with the artist on a weekly basis, and the mural represents all of the ideas and visions that the students had. Particularly, it honors grandmothers. That's one theme that almost every student shared, is that they wanted to honor an important woman in their life, and a common denominator that kept coming up was a grandmother. So the mural is actually dedicated to everyone's grandmother. It is very powerful. It's actually, every time I see it, I see something different and I feel something different. The first time I looked at it, I just felt really proud. The day of the unveiling, I actually felt a lot of strength. So art has a way of transforming itself into feelings, and we're just so delighted and glad that all of our students' voices had a part in this mural.
We're actually going to be doing a photo shoot in front of the mural later on this summer in support of an event that we're both part of, Let's Talk Well Women, happening at NJPAC on October 15th, which I'm super excited about.
Honestly, it was, again, another chance encounter. When I met with Deb, who is leading the event, I'm not sure how it happened, but I just naturally disclosed it, and I'm about to do it now, is that I am a breast cancer survivor. And when I heard about the event, I immediately knew that I needed to be a part of supporting this event. I truly believe in empowering women through education about health awareness. One of the things that I actually did was create a curriculum called Health Disparities Impact on Urban Communities while I was actually being treated for breast cancer. So it is really perfect timing in terms of getting to know these amazing women who are doing work to support other women.
You're helping students with their careers, with their health. What a role model you are.
Thank you. Thank you.
Why is it so important to you to be this beacon in the community?
I think that I have a special voice in terms of being able to advocate because I went through something myself. It's really hard to speak about something unless you truly understand it. And going and being treated for cancer is in and of itself something that impacts not only yourself and changes you forever, but also your family who goes through it with you. But on that note, it was really at that moment where I said, what is my purpose and how can I make every day count, not only for myself, but for other people? So I really truly believe that as ugly as cancer is, it did bring light in terms of showing me what my purpose was. I am extremely excited to be working on various projects that are coming up this year. I actually just got off of a Zoom with the Bold lead, Dr. Butterfield, and we were in the planning stages of more exciting events to happen for our women, which not only include traveling internationally for our students as well, but hopefully more murals. That's in the conversation. We actually have new leads within the Helen Gurley Brown Foundation, extremely powerful women who are going to be student facing for our students now that we're in a post-COVID world. And of course, collaborating with the women of NJPAC. So there's a lot of exciting events that are coming up. As you know, Bold is already, it's on our calendar, on our website. We are also in support of the event in October. So I'm just excited for these events to happen. Right now, we're in the planning stages.
You've mentioned the Helen Gurley Brown Foundation. Tell us who Helen is.
So Helen is and remains a diva and a legend. She was the editor-in-chief of Cosmopolitan magazine. She's a trailblazer, instigator, a staunch feminist. She was unapologetically herself. You can Google some quotes. Some of her most famous quotes are truly empowering women at a time when women were not necessarily looked upon to have that strong voice and those strong opinions. So her belief and in her legacy, we want to encourage and empower women through education and through career and through just achieving their life's ambitions, whatever it is that they want to do. The Helen Gurley Brown Foundation allows for opportunities that otherwise wouldn't be afforded to many underrepresented women.
Where can people find out more about the Bold program?
Sure. So you can follow us on Instagram at Bold Women Lead Run, or you can check us out on our website, which is boldwomensnetwork.com.
Thank you, Jennifer. And I know we'll be seeing a lot more of each other leading up to October 15th.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. This was great.
The South Orange Performing Arts Center will host the debut of The Last Supper, a musical comedy about 5 liberal grad students sharing a house in a conservative college town who, in their efforts to save the world, invite some neighbors to dinner for a political discussion. Needless to say, things do not go so well. Joining us now to talk about this groundbreaking show is its co-producer, Stephen Schnall. Stephen, welcome.
Thanks, Lisa Marie. It's great to be here.
I gotta say, I love the concept of the show, given the polarizing times that we live in. How did you put this idea into motion?
Well, actually, interestingly enough, this is a remake of a movie that was made back in 1995. The movie was called The Last Supper, and it starred Cameron Diaz and Ron Eldard and Ron Perlman, and Jason Alexander made a short cameo. It was a pretty, good movie at the time, and it was very, particularly timely. The political satire in the mid-90s was compelling and interesting, but it's only been ratcheted up now. So we've, really updated, a great deal of the story to make it more relevant.
So what talent is involved in the 2022 version?
Folks, you can go to the SOPAC website and you can see information on all the performers, and it's really a terrific cast, and the director and choreographer are also just tremendous. So really wonderful. One of the reasons we're doing this is actually to get audience engagement, to know, are they laughing at the right place? Are they quiet? Are they listening in? It's really to get audience feedback, and the show's going to evolve literally day to day. So, when it first is performing on July 27th to August 7th, the show is going to be significantly different. The director takes in all that comments. The producers and the director are going to sit watching the audience. They're going to watch the audience watching the show. So it's going to be a fabulous place for us to put on the show.
And you can get great food. You could get great dinner right before the show. South Orange Village has so many great spots. What's your favorite?
I happen to love Asian food. There's a restaurant, Pandang, which is just terrific sushi. We got Fox and Falcon, which is absolutely one of my favorite restaurants. It's got a big bar. There's actually an upstairs and downstairs. There's a little more formal dining upstairs. Downstairs, it's called the Snug. It's more like a kind of feel like you're in a European, like small little bar.
When is the show running and where can people find out more?
So the show actually runs for 2 weeks only. It's 12 performances beginning on Wednesday, July 27th. And the last performance will be a Sunday matinee, August 7th. So the shows will be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 2 shows on Saturday, a matinee at 3 and a 7:30 performance, and then a Sunday performance as well for 2 weeks. And the best way to get information and to buy your tickets is to go to the SOPAC website. That is sopacnow.org. That's SOPACNOW.org/The Last Supper.
Stephen, thank you so much for coming on, and we look forward to seeing you and the show at SOPAC.
Thank you so much, Lisa Maria. It's been great being on here. Thank you.
Thank you for joining me on another episode of Your New Jersey. I'm Lisa Marie Falbo. We'll see you back here next week.